Day 5 of What Is It Like to Eat at Deep South. Our breakfast started off with oatmeal today, with skillet bread with mayhaw jelly, deer sausage. Danny had eggs, water, and I had a cup of coffee. Today we're going to talk about our canned goods. This is a little cabinet I have in the house that I keep my weekly canned goods in, such as green beans, pears, we have carrots, and jellies and jams. On another shelf, I have pickles, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken broth, and peanuts for snacks. The next shelf, it pretty much covers butter and English peas. Then this shelf has cane syrup, field peas, and some of our ground meat and stew meat that we have canned. It's really good to have a well-stocked cellar full of the type of variety of vegetables and fruits that you like to eat. We also take and vacuum seal in these bags different seasonings. I have southern gravy mixes, we have chili, brown gravy, taco mixes, red bean mix, xanthan gum, and Kool-Aid. It's good to have Kool-Aid to drink every now and then. You can also use it to flavor cakes, and the lemon is used for cleaning purposes. Today we're going to be making some more desserts for 2 or 3 days. Danny's almost out of cookies and his blonde brownies, so today we're making sweet potatoes. It's going to be, I don't know, it's kind of like a brownie, but it's made with sweet potatoes. Then apples, I'm going to be making muffins and adding a few of the apples in. And the leftover apples, because it doesn't take but about a third of these apples, I'm going to be putting them in a small casserole pan, adding some brown sugar, and we're going to bake those for a few minutes, and that will be enough probably for about 3 or 4 days for us to eat snacks. Our muffin recipe is a basic muffin recipe with gluten-free flour, salt, baking powder. I added sugar, vanilla, butter, and eggs. Mixed it all together. As you can see, we've added a little bit of apple and a little bit of almonds. And this is, if we need milk, I will add it in a few minutes. It's kind of a thicker recipe right now, but I do not add milk until I've mixed in the apples some. Once I mix the apples in, this looks pretty good. It's thin enough. I'm not going to be adding any milk. Here we've already started putting it in our muffin pan. We've got our oven preheated. The pan's been sprayed with olive oil, and we're fixing to put them at 375 for about, I don't know, probably 20 minutes, I think. And we'll check them at that point. The rest of the apples are going into the oven with some brown sugar and butter. I'm going to cook them probably about 20 minutes and take them out. Just good to eat fresh. You can eat those fresh out of the jar if you want to, but I like to add a little bit more flavor. Okay, with the sweet potatoes today, I'm going to be mashing them. I've added a little bit of sugar. We're going to add our gluten-free flour, salt and baking powder, of course, vanilla, 3 eggs, and a little bit of milk. I will kind of judge it till it gets to the consistency I want. Here is our sweet potato dessert. It only took 1/4 cup to get it to the consistency I wanted. It's sort of like making a sweet potato pie. Basic, same concept. You just don't have a crust, and who likes to make crust, okay? And as always, utilizing the oven, cooking 3 things at one time. Our sweet potato dessert is out of the oven. As you can see, it's kind of browned. And through the pan, as you can see, it browned in the pan. Let me get it weird. Our apple muffins are out of the oven. They all turned out perfect. They look good, good and brown. For a mid-morning snack, we're going to be eating apples that I baked with butter and sugar that were left over from the jar that I opened to make the muffins. As we continue on today with our canned goods and how we use them, I'm going to be making stew. And one thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using our potatoes, some of our canned meat, our carrots, and a brown gravy mix. I'm going to add some salt, pepper, onions, some of that kind of stuff, maybe a little garlic. We're going to create our own little stew, and it's not going to take very long to make this. Mainly everything is done, it's just got to be heated and the flavors meshed together. I'm going to use this cast iron cooker, and it's coated in enamel. This is like a really good slow cook. Here's what our stew looks like. We're going to let it cook in this cast iron for a while. We're going to turn it on low once it gets hot and just let it sit and simmer. Alright, today we're eating our stew that we made in our cast iron pot. We used jars from our food storage that we had canned this year. And we have cornbread that we cooked a couple of days ago. Danny has water. And I am drinking some muscadine juice that we hand squeezed back in the summer. Juicing is one thing that we do at Deep South. We always have some type of juice or some type of fruit that we can have. During the summer it's always fresh fruits, but during the winter it is juices. Here we have the purple muscadines. This is what it looks like when you hand juice it with a chinoy. You don't get the bitter seeds in it. It's so sweet and good. We also have the bronze scuppernons, and we juice those, and it is kind of a clear color. Along with that, we juiced oranges. We were given some tangerines. We juiced those. The apples, I have some apple cider that we canned. We did not put that in the freezer. We canned it. So we have a variety of juices here at Deep South. Leftovers are really great. We went hunting, didn't come in till after dark, and I had to stay and watch this beautiful sunset tonight. We had stew. There was plenty from lunch, plenty of cornbread. Leftovers are where it's at when you want to relax.